country. If I had to travel the world to fight, then so be it.
It's their levels and their stars and superstars. Okay, and they made the championship, not the championship made them.
This is it, the dream fight, the one matchup boxing fans have been begging for. And now it's finally happening. After years of criticism, excuses, and what some called blatant ducking, Canelo Álvarez is officially stepping into the ring with the pound-for-pound king, Terence "Bud" Crawford. But it wasn't just quietly announced. No, they launched it with a face-off that rocked the boxing world.
It didn't just get announced quietly. Nah, they kicked it off with a face-off that shook the boxing world.
Well, here we go.
Two of the most dominant fighters of this generation. One ring, one massive legacy on the line.
Now let's rewind to how we got here. Canelo versus William Scull.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We going to do everything we can to him. We going to do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him. Because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something. And he better know Crawford is coming.
Two of the most dominant fighters of this era. One ring, one legacy on the line. And judging by that first face-off, this is going to be a war.
I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight. Okay, he deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I knew. I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the moment that blew up the internet. Crawford versus Canelo, their first face-off. It happened right after Canelo's dominant win over William Scull. The Mexican icon was still dripping sweat, gloves off, smile gone. And then Crawford entered the ring like a man on a mission. You could feel the tension.
So every time I see him, he'd come and be like, Canelo.
You're right. Yeah, you know how Billy do it too, yeah.
I'd be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at it, like, okay. And he's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, all right. And I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started hitting me like, all right, man, maybe he on to something. You know, and then I started sizing him up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7", you know, my arm's longer.
Yeah.
He's strong, I'm strong.
Right.
You know, it'd be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
You know, because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So I just started looking into it, and I'm like, man.
No security barriers, no fake handshakes, just two alpha fighters face-to-face, inches from history.
I've been beating up big dudes all my
Cause they underestimate your bud.
It's just, even if they didn't, I'm gonna beat you up. You know, I can fight.
Right.
You know, so if you watch, like, all these dudes bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't care, but I'm gonna find a way to win, no matter what.
In September, are you gonna pull this? I shook up the world. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you.
That definitely. That's definitely gonna be, you know what I mean, one of the moments. You know, I need to the doubters to fuel me. What you think he'll do if he go up 2 more weight classes? I need that, you know, because that's gonna make me more focused and turn into a different animal. So I need the people to say, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not.
Crawford stayed calm and smirked. Canelo, on the other hand, looked him dead in the eye like, "You're in my house now." And the crowd? The MGM Grand went wild. Fans were split, some chanting, "Canelo, Canelo," while others shouted, "Bud, Bud."
William who? Canelo versus William Scull. William who? Oscar being back in New York over here. No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts. Let's get it. If you see Thursdays, back-to-back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right? I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again.
It was the kind of energy we haven't seen since Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Make no mistake, this isn't just a big fight, this is the fight Crawford has been chasing for years.
Company you fought under for decades has always had one name, and it's mine. So put some fucking respect on it. As for Jaime, he has always dared to be great, just as he's this Saturday night, of a full circle for him. Remember when Jaime...
Ever since he stopped Errol Spence Jr. to become undisputed welterweight champion, he's been publicly calling out Canelo. But every time, Canelo came back with the same excuse. "I won't drop weight, he's too small."
'Cause, let's be real, there's nothing De La Hoya wants more than to see Canelo catch an L.
But Crawford doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can just he's like Bruce Lee, literally, and he's in his peak, he's in his prime. And so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it, Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
Meanwhile, Crawford kept building his case, dominating division after division. From lightweight to junior welterweight to welterweight, Bud's been cleaning house. Now he's ready to crash through the gates of the super middleweights.
Canelo fans, please pray for Canelo. He's about to fight William Scull in Saudi. Pray for Canelo, bro. Pray for Canelo.
Bro, but don't you get it? Canelo will never lose because Turkey needs him to win.
Yeah, he's not gonna lose.
There's no way Turkey gets his Crawford fight if Canelo loses, so that's not happening.
It's a deeper, darker criminal link. I don't trust it. Pray for Canelo, man. Turkey might say, yeah, you was talking all that shit when I was first trying to get you. Now look what we gonna do for you. We got you in Riyadh. Let's get that L up off you. And you still got to fight Crawford.
There's no more room to dodge, no more delay. After Canelo's latest win over Scull, fans demanded something bigger, and Canelo finally knew he couldn't keep putting it off.
How are you feeling after your great performance tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I win. You know, I come to put a great show, but to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Scull?
Yeah, a little bit, but.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him, you just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that. And he say, I'm sorry, it's my first time, and I just tried to put a good fight, and I'm so sorry. That's fine.
How are you feeling after your great performance tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I win. I come to put a great show, but to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Scull?
Yeah, a little bit, but.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him, you just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that. And he said, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, it's my first time and I just tried to put a good fight and I'm so sorry.
And every time Canelo ducked Bud, who was the loudest voice calling him out? Oscar De La Hoya.
When did it come to a point, how long ago was it for yourself when you realised that the Canelo Álvarez fight is a possibility for you?
Just you know what I mean? Looking over the landscape of boxing and the opportunities and the accomplishment that Canelo had and, you know, sizing them up and things like that. I know we ain't never been in the ring before, but, you know, it's a great opportunity for me in my career.
And that idea of yourself of chasing greatness, inside, how much does that excite you over that, with it all together, that idea of chasing greatness? It's always something you've done, to do that sort of stepping up in weights. How much is that an exciting proposition for you?
Oh, it's very exciting. It's like throwing gasoline on a bucket of fire. You know, I'm very competitive, and I'm looking to be competitive in a fight in September.
The beef between Oscar and Canelo runs deep. Ever since Canelo split from Golden Boy Promotions, things have only gotten nastier. So you can bet, when Canelo finally shares the ring with Bud, De La Hoya will be ringside cheering Crawford on. Let's be honest, nothing would make Oscar happier than seeing Canelo take a loss.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously.
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not
Kovalev was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
Let's talk about the moment that broke the internet. Crawford versus Canelo's first face-off. It happened right after Canelo's dominant win over William Scull.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Álvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life, and he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
The Mexican superstar was still dripping in sweat. Gloves off, smile fading, and boom, Terence Crawford stepped into the ring like a man on a mission. You could feel the tension. No security holding them back, no fake smiles. Just 2 alpha dogs staring each other down, inches from history. Crawford, cool and calm, simply smirked. Meanwhile, Canelo's body language screamed, "You're in my house now!"
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So,
along my career, I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes
There's no Triple G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ.
Yeah, but Bud is an elite boxer.
So you're an elite boxer, but you haven't fought elite boxers.
Terence Crawford has had one fight above 147 pounds, and everyone, including Terence Crawford, will tell you that was not his finest performance against Israel Madrigal. He is older than Canelo. He is coming up in weight. He's coming off a long layoff. I can't look at Canelo William Scull and say, you know what? Canelo is too far in a decline to beat Terence Crawford. Not until I've seen what Terence Crawford looks like at 168 pounds.
No, same here. Even though we could see Canelo Álvarez diminishing, we're still going to favor him because he's been in there with the bigger, stronger men. Crawford's not going to be able to hurt him. Crawford will be able to pepper him up, win rounds. Like I tell you, I have an image of Canelo Álvarez after the fight. He's going to be bloodied and bruised because he's going to get pot shotted. He's going to throw 2-3 punches, pepper him up, and then get an angle. Then once Canelo starts realizing I'm falling behind here or I'm getting hit too much, I gotta do something great, that's when Crawford's gonna have to get on his bike.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not do that, Canelo.
My good friend, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring. I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that anything can happen in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out, you know what I'm saying?
And the crowd? The MGM Grand went wild. Fans were split, some chanting, "Canelo, Canelo," while others roared, "Bud, Bud." We haven't seen this kind of electricity since Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Let's be clear, this isn't just another big fight. This is the fight Crawford has wanted for years, ever since he stopped Errol Spence Jr. and became the undisputed welterweight champion. Bud has been calling out Canelo, publicly, repeatedly. But every time Canelo had an excuse. I won't come down in weight. He's too small.